froggy enough, you jump. 972-5481. That's our phone number. It gets you in on the conversation. But stand by, because we're having an interview right now. We're continuing our conversations with political candidates. And now it's the 14th District Senate race. And Amanda Richards is in the studio. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. I met you at the Natchez Sportsman's Days.
Oh, cool.
So, how to decide, do we want the slushies or do we want... How many kids do you have?
I have 3 daughters.
3 daughters, yeah. Nice family. Well, welcome. How's it going? Here you are trying to make inroads in the 14th District, which now goes all the way down to your neck of the woods, and you're from the southern part of the district, right?
I am. I'm from Klickitat County. The district actually takes in the very eastern part of Clark County, all the way up here to Yakima. It's a very large district.
So do you live near Goldendale?
I do. I live about 25 miles from Goldendale.
Cool. Analytical chemist for Archer Daniels Midland. You are a mother, a hobby farmer.
Yep.
Helps bring you tomorrow's food today. Makes it really fresh, right, Jacqueline? Yeah.
Well, what is a hobby farmer?
Well, we have a 200-acre ranch, and at one time we had cows, but we've kind of moved away from them. Dairy cows. We had Jerseys, which is the best milk ever. And now we have Nigerian dwarf goats. We've done chickens, peafowl, turkeys. One of our biggest crops that we can't do anything with are rattlesnakes. Apparently, our property is just above a den. So my kids are very diligent in the summer not to pick anything up. But they
are you allowed to? They're not protected or anything, are they?
No. No. Yeah.
Here's the den. Here's the fuse. Just saying.
It's like my worst nightmare to come across that den.
Yeah, I bet.
But we have dairy goats, and we raise almost all of our own meat, and we have 3 gardens, a greenhouse, and a little fledgling orchard.
Well, I mean, with all of that, you're wanting to go into the den?
No.
You're wanting to go into
different kind of den, but
den of
just as dangerous.
Oh, geez, yeah. Ever served in public office before?
I am an elected PCO for the Klickitat County Republican Party. I was elected to represent all of the PCOs in Klickitat County on the state board, and also all of Congressional District 3. I was elected by all the state committee members on the Washington State Republican Executive Board.
But you're not running as a Republican.
I'm running as an independent GOP. So the Democratic Party and the Republican parties lately seem to be as top-down, and I'm a grassroots person. I started politics in grassroots. Even as a state committee person, I listened to my PCOs, and I took the voice from the PCOs to the state board, and then from the state committee to the executive board. I believe in listening to the people, listening to the citizens. I talk to my neighbors. I find out what they are. That's the job as a PCO. You talk to your neighbors and you find out where you want the party to go. And that's what you do as a representative of the people. You listen to them.
Well, you're supposed to.
You are supposed to.
Yeah. It might be interesting to have a separate conversation with you sometime down the road about what you see as the future for the Republican Party after what's taken place there. But we'll use that as another time. Okay, so you're up against an incumbent, never easy, a powerful incumbent who has delivered the goods, as they say, for his district with money for the $150 million for East-West Corridor and some of those kinds of things. But it happened by way of gas tax. Your thoughts on all of that?
Well, the people of the district actually asked last November, 76% here asked for it to be repealed. It was a 32% increase in taxes. It's the highest tax increase Washington State has ever seen. It hits everybody. Even if you don't drive, you're affected by this tax. Your bread is now more expensive. If you have somebody come in and work on your refrigerator, guess what? They're not going to absorb that cost. They're going to pass that on to you. It's not just a gas tax. Your cabs and your licenses, they all went up about $30. The CDLs went up. Every trucker is getting hit with this. Our district is full of farmers, loggers, truckers. We're all going to feel the pinch. And there's a lot of people that down in Klickitat or Scammania say, well, we can just go across the border to Oregon. Well, yeah, that's fine. But what about the rest of the state?
And Mr. King says that, well, for every dollar that we put into it, we get $1.42 back in Klickitat. So that means somebody else around the state is getting hosed for like 58 cents. So is that fair to have somebody else pay for our things, or should we just be more responsible? And it's not even just the gas tax. It's not even the tax. It's that our money is not being spent wisely. We have Bertha up in Seattle, and it's only $212 million over budget. That's what he says, only. Like, it's not even real money. We have Eileen, that they nicknamed a ferry up there because it lists to one side. It can't carry the proper amount of cars that it was designed to. And we joke about it and call it Eileen. We have a floating bridge that doesn't float. We have down on Highway 14, they had to redo the road because they didn't put the right mix down. So the same company got a second contract to fix it. Is that using our money wisely? I work hard for my money. Everybody listening works hard for their money. You don't want to see it wasted.
Yeah, but how much direct control or influence would you have if you were in office to deal with all of that?
I'm one voice, but I am a very strong, stubborn voice for the people. My family, we're debt-free. We live very frugally. We live beneath our means. Everything is paid off, and we don't buy anything unless we can fund it. The transportation bill, what they did is they passed the transportation bill, and immediately on the heels, they passed a bond for, I think it's 15 years, for another $5.1 billion, because they can't pay for all their projects with just the gas tax. They had to add a bond. And that affects my children and possibly their children on top of it.
All right. With us having loggers and farmers and all of this, roads are critical getting crops around.
Big time.
How do we pay for the not just our district but everybody's districts if there's not? I mean, are you going to pare away other programs and other things and redirect money that's in the budget now, or how do you fund those things?
No, there is enough money in the budget. There was a study out, and I can give you in a second. Of the transportation costs, 84% are for new projects. Only 16% are going for maintenance of our roads and bridges.
That's always kind of been the case. In fact, if we're at 16% now, that might be better than we've done in the past. We certainly have not been good maintenance stewards of what we've created in the past, that's for sure.
Yep. So I think we should flip that. Let's stop funding. Well, up in Seattle, they had a Sound Transit spur line. They had a party for $850,000 for a one-day party to open the spur line. Maybe use that money to actually maintain our roads and bridges.
That's right.
Leading up to it, they had a $5 to $7 million in advertising for the spur line.
Wow.
It's just, we have the money, we have the resources, and we can focus on what needs to be done. Just because something could be done doesn't mean it should be done. But we do need roads and bridges, safe roads and bridges that we can drive on and move our commerce. Mm-hmm. We don't need fancy parties with little lanyards that are $25,000 each.
Yeah, no kidding. Why didn't we get an invite to that, Tormey?
Yeah, come. We should have been doing a live show there.
We could have done a better job questioning Amanda about that. All right, so let's move on. I mean, transportation is one part of your opponent's past, but what other things would you, besides being, a steely-eyed fiscal conservative, what else would you like to see that we do get accomplished?
I would like to see the McCleary thing get solved. There's a lot of different things that people are talking about, but one of my things is I believe in local control. Local control is best for everybody. You have the best people watching over that know the district. Right now we have all the power is in one area, and it's being filtered out, and superintendents and principals are being told what to do by one centralized power. They don't know the kids in that district. The kids in Centerville are completely different than the kids up in Seattle. We have different needs. The teachers know best, and it should move from the parents having the ultimate say to the teachers who deal with the children, to the principals who are allowed to hire and fire, and the superintendents who are in charge of the whole district. It shouldn't be somebody up in Seattle making a choice for Goldendale or Centerville exactly what is taught. The teachers know best, and the teachers are teaching to the test. They're getting disgruntled. They're not really happy with how it's going. They went into this job because they love children and they love to teach. And right now they're being hampered. They're teaching to the test. The kids are failing it because they're trying to kick out these facts that they don't really know, but they've been pounded into their heads. And that's not going to stay. That's not education. That is just reciting facts. And they're not going to learn anything. And my opponent, he thinks we should have longer school days and longer school years. Well, that costs more money, and it's not necessarily going to do the kids any favors.
Do you believe funding is underfunded in this state? I mean, that schooling is underfunded in this state?
No, we've had an increase, I think, of about 30%. Mm-hmm. And a large portion of our operating budget is education. I think it's well funded, but less than 60 cents goes to the classroom. Mm. That's the problem. When the kids aren't getting the money, when all the administration is top heavy, the kids aren't getting the education.
So not only do you want to take on a multi-year incumbent, you want to take on the Washington Education Association. Boy.
I'm half Scottish. I'm slightly stubborn.
See it in her kilt standing there. Every man lives, dies, but not every man truly lives, right?
We do have kilts.
Hey, Amanda, a couple minutes left. Tell us, you got a lot of people listening out there.
Potential voters, each and every one.
Yeah. It's Dave calls it your elevator speech. If you had everybody in the elevator. Tell us why people should vote for you.
First and foremost, the job is a public servant. When you ignore the will of the people and when you stop listening and you think that you're their boss or their dad, then you stop being their representative. And my first goal is, one, to follow the constitutions of both the United States and the Washington State Constitution. But most importantly, listen to the citizens. They know best. They're your boss. The incumbent thinks he is their dad, and he doesn't want to listen, or he thinks he's running it as a CEO. My job is to listen as your representative and use your money wisely. We have tax money taken from us. Most of us don't volunteer it, and we the representatives and the government has a duty to use that money as wisely as possible, and not follow any pipe dreams. Mostly, I'd like to listen. And there's a lot of people. There's so many smart people in our state. They start businesses in little garages, and they make big businesses. I'm not any smarter than the people out there. They are a lot of smart people, and I want to hear what they have to say and take their suggestions and take it to the Senate.
Excellent. You've got a website. Are you on Facebook? People can find you?
My website is www.unseattheking.com. And I have a Facebook page. It's Amanda Richards for State Senate.
All right.
If I want to buy Nigerian goat roast, can I hit you up for that too?
No.
No?
They're for milk.
They're for milk.
All right, cool. All right.
Thought I'd try that. What about Namibian meat goats? Have you had any?
I don't have any of those. I have one buckling still for sale. No one wants them. I can give you a good price on him.
A good deal on that. Amanda, refreshing, fierce in your own way, which I think is, you take pride in that. You stand up, you stick up, you show up to be counted. If that appeals to you, Yakima County, and you think that maybe somebody needs to watch the purse a little more closely and maybe listen to you, then here's your candidate. Nice to have you on the show. Best of good luck. Man. If you should win, we hope to chat again, and if not, come back and we'll talk goats with you. What the heck?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
You got
Thanks so much. You're tuned to The Source. The Valley's News Talk leader is News Talk 1280 KIT.